Hey everyone, it's Jeff from New York, and today we're here to talk about Tribeca. Tribeca stands for Triangle Below Canal Street, or Tribeca. The triangle, or more accurately a trapezoid, is bounded by Canal Street, West Street, Broadway, and either Chambers, Vesey, or Murray Street. The neighborhood began as farmland, then became residential in the early 19th century. Then it transitioned into a mercantile area centered on produce, dry goods, and textiles, before being colonized by artists and then actors, models, entrepreneurs, and other celebrities. The neighborhood is home to the Tribeca Film Festival, which was created in response to the September 11th attacks, to rebuild interest in the neighborhood and downtown areas after the destruction caused by the terrorist attacks. So let's put on our comfortable virtual shoes and get walking. The Odeon is a New Yorker favorite. This classic cafeteria on Lower Broadway has been serving up everything from oatmeal to cocktails for decades. They even have breakfast cocktails including Hair of the Dog and Reviver Number 2. This is Locanda Verde. It's your typical cafe restaurant on Greenwich Street in Tribeca. I love the front of this place, and did I mention the awesome building? It's one of my favorites in Tribeca. Free Kayaking is an organization located at the downtown boathouse in Tribeca. Located on the Hudson River, Free Kayaking offers, free kayaking, but they do accept donations. The organization continues to grow and has become quite popular here on the Hudson. Kayaking on the Hudson is a great, inexpensive way to spend an afternoon in New York. As I said, they do take donations. Manhattan is all about creating memories, and this is something you'll never forget. Hudson River Park is long, narrow, and flat. It starts at the southern tip of Tribeca and continues up the Hudson River to 55th Street, almost the Upper West Side. Because the park is relatively straight, flat, and long, it's perfect for runners, walkers, and bicycling. Other things to do in this scenic park include baseball, basketball, batting cages, beach volleyball, bike rentals, boat excursions, bowling, playgrounds and a carousel, dog runs, field sports, golf, historic vessels, ice skating, and much, much more. All this in a beautiful, unobstructed view of the Hudson River along the park's 5-mile stretch. There's lots to eat and plenty of art along the way. The park is within walking distance of most of Manhattan, from Central Park down to Tribeca. This is a Tribeca dog run. As you see in most of my videos, there's dog runs all over Manhattan. This one's for larger dogs, and there's one for smaller dogs right across the way. It's located in Hudson River Park along the West Side Highway. The Amish Market is one of the more popular grocery stores in the city. Catering is a big part of their business. They also have their own app so you can see what's for lunch and order it on your phone ahead of time. May sound simple today, but they were one of the first ones to do it in the city. Just outside of the Tribeca area is Familia Pizza. I ordered a chicken parm slice with a Diet Coke. It was rather tasteless. Even my backpack, which was sitting across from me, didn't have much to say. I still say there's no such thing as a bad slice of pizza. However, Familia was testing my theory. Volleyball is available on one of the many piers along Hudson River Park. Hey California, this is the real Manhattan Beach. I found this contraption along the Hudson River Park walk in Tribeca. Is it a jungle gym? Art? Or perhaps injury lawyer heaven? I mean, if it wasn't safe, they wouldn't have built it. Right? Grand Banks Oyster Bar is located on Pier 25 in Hudson River Park in Tribeca. Grand Banks is a popular oyster bar aboard the historic schooner Sherman Zwicker. It's one of those rare places that seem to attract both locals and tourists alike. I'm digging the hostess in the house dress and combat boots. What are your thoughts? Leave comments below. And here we have a soccer practice field in Hudson River Park. The field isn't really big enough for a game, but it's a place to practice some fancy footwork. I thought this was wild lavender. As I got closer, I realized it's those flowers that make a popping sound when you squeeze them. Don't ask me what they're called. I was dying to pop a few to bring back childhood memories, but I noticed some NYPD presence, and I wasn't sure if flower popping was illegal in Tribeca. Then along came a spider, and you know how the story ends. It's not pretty, people. So we're looking back at Manhattan from a pier in Tribeca in the Hudson River Park. And here we can see buildings in the background, starting off with Tribeca, then the Meatpacking District, Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen, all the way up to Midtown, the Empire State Building. Yeah, it's definitely hot out today, and these kids seem to be having a great time. But I'm wondering where the water's coming from. If it's coming from the city's public water supply, well, that's fantastic. If it's being recycled within the park, well, I'd have a second opinion on that. West Street is a typical upscale street in Tribeca filled with renovated residential warehouses. And here we have Greenwich Street Tavern, home of the famous Jalapeno Bloody Maria. This is the Tribeca Food Emporium. It's your typical Manhattan grocery store, a little bit of everything, served up in nice tight aisles with extremely high prices. Alice is everywhere in New York City. Here she is in Tribeca. Do other cities have the same fascination with Alice in Wonderland? It's very trippy. Greenwich Street is a major tree-lined thoroughfare going through Tribeca. Tribeca Grill is one of the more famous cafe restaurants in Tribeca. Perhaps not as famous as its owner, Robert De Niro. If celebrity hangouts is your thing, here's where you want to bring your autograph book. Tribeca Grill is also known because of its extensive and reasonably priced wine list. For example, if you're on an extremely tight budget, a 1996 bottle of Chateau Lafite, which normally goes for $4,000 in other area restaurants, can be had here for the bargain price of $1,500. Just check that label before it's opened. You might end up with something more expensive. The sidewalk cafes in New York City all have their different vibes depending upon the neighborhood you're in. For some reason, Tribeca seems to be my favorite. Here we have some more converted warehouse apartments. This look is very unique to Tribeca, and they're quite pricey. As with most areas downtown, things have changed quite a bit here in the past several years in Tribeca. Not only are the warehouse apartments pricey, but so are the restaurants and the cars that people drive. Although the Benvenuto Cafe is located downtown in Tribeca, I understand they have a burger called the Midtown Burger that's out of this world. The label says healthy everyday beverage. Every once in a while I treat myself to an unusual beverage while walking around the city. You know, something you never had to quench your thirst and give your taste buds a treat. I saw this while I was in the Food Emporium, and it looked like a good idea. Halfway through, I went into a sugar coma. Looking for a sports bar in Tribeca? Check out the Tribeca Tap House. Lots of different beers on tap to try. If you're in the mood for some vino, they have that on tap as well. Washington Market Park is a very popular family-friendly park on Greenwich Street in the heart of Tribeca. The entrance looks inviting. Let's check it out. The park is quite large considering the size of the neighborhood. There's lots to do, and the park has both noisy and quiet areas that the visitors seem to respect. Some lucky little girl or boy is having a birthday party in one of the park's gazebos. They couldn't have picked a better day for the park. Or to be born, I guess. If you looked up the word whimsical in the dictionary, perhaps this is the picture you would find along with the definition. The colorful tables and soft ground might appeal to kids, but I wouldn't mind bringing my old laptop to get some out of the office work done here myself. This is the Washington Market Park Community Garden. Community gardens are not new to New York City, and if you check out my other videos, you'll see them all over the area. But this is one of the better maintained ones. Each plot is about 4x4, and as you can see, they're well cared for by their owners. Picking flowers is highly discouraged. You won't get arrested, but karma is what it is. You know, pigeon poop, dog dew, gum on your new running shoes. You get the idea. Don't pick the flowers. One of the cool things about Washington Market Park in Tribeca is it's got a lot of open space. As with lots of playgrounds in the city, Washington Market Park has lots of refreshing water features. I have this theory about the city. The more expensive the real estate, the less clothes you find on the fire escapes. Tribeca has no clothes on the fire escapes. This is PS 234. This public school is located in the heart of Tribeca on Greenwich Street. The building has a nautical theme with its curves and round windows. The schoolyard fence is a work of art. Greenwich Street is the main street that most Tribeca attractions and businesses are located on or just off of. In the background, you can see the ornate municipal building to the east. Tribeca borders the Civic Center area of Manhattan. Tribeca Bridge is a Deco-style pedestrian bridge that was built so local students could cross busy Chambers Street safely. Of course, you don't need to be a student to cross this beautiful bridge. Tribeca is one of many neighborhoods in New York City whose name is a portmanteau. A portmanteau is a word created when other words are combined. In this case, Tribeca is a portmanteau for triangle below Canal Street. Some other New York City portmanteaus include Soho, south of Houston, NoHo, north of Houston, Nolita, north of Little Italy, Nomad, north of Madison Square Park, Dumbo, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, Bococa, a combination of neighborhoods in Brooklyn that includes Boerum Hill, Cobble Hill, and Carroll Gardens. This area is also known as Little France. Here we have a nice community park being enjoyed by local residents of Tribeca. And here we have two NYPD officers enjoying some iced Starbucks on a hot day. There's no donuts in sight. This is the entrance to Pier 40 in Hudson River Park. Pier 40 used to be the terminal for cruise ships years ago. Today, the huge 3-story pier hosts all kinds of sporting games, including baseball, football, and soccer. The 14-acre pier is one of the largest in the city. These monkey bars are in Hudson River Park in Tribeca. Remember when monkey bars were basically a horizontal ladder? Today they look like beautiful sculptures. Times have changed in the playground. You know, I've always said, if you've seen one 25-foot bagel sculpture with a huge iron black tulip sticking out of the top, you've seen them all. Hands down, New York City is the bagel capital of the world, and this shrine basically attests to that fact. Wow. It looks like lots of people came to Hudson River Park to score some grass today. In most cities, skateboarders are discouraged or actually kicked off of public and private property. New York City's no different. But here in Hudson River Park, they can try all the tricks they want and not be bothered. New York City has a lot of miniature golf courses. Unfortunately, many of them are indoors. But in Tribeca, you can play miniature golf in the bright sunshine. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my videos and click on that little bell in the corner to be notified when new videos become available.